Just came in from a bite. Welcome back to Screen Theater. I'm your host, Count Karnstein. Count for short. Good evening and welcome back to Screen Theater. Tonight, I've gone back into the video vault for another tale of horror and suspense. We're glad you could join us again. So, sit back, turn out the lights, grab your popcorn, grab your mate, ghouls and ghoulettes, and let's get ready for another episode of Screen Theater.
Are you out of your mind?
Give her another one. What a way to go. I really thought we had had it.
What's gotten into you?
I warned you at home. I don't want to go there.
Well, you have to.
You can take me there, but I won't stay.
Phew. You could have killed us all.
That's what I tried to do.
The kid's lost her marbles. Talking wild like that. I'm certainly glad, Paul, that we're getting rid of her.
Shut up.
That's no way to talk to your mother.
Stepmother. My mother's dead.
Oh, you're back on that track.
And I'll never get off.
I don't approve of your smoking, but I guess one more won't hurt you now.
Let her have a whole pack if it'll help calm her nerves.
I'll handle this, dear. Now, look, Nancy, we've discussed this back and forth.
And you ought to know how I feel.
Then why can't you see it my way? I have a right to remarry.
Oh, you're on that lonesome kick again. At least you could have waited 6 weeks. And then you married her.
Well, the company shifted me to another city. I had to make a decision.
I know. They twisted your arm around her.
That'll do. You're selfish. Maybe your mother spoiled you. All you think of is yourself.
Me? You're a fine one to talk. You sell the house, you yank me out of school, you break up my whole social life.
You mean those moonlight beach parties and those rock and roll sessions?
I lose all my friends. Especially Glenn, and just when we were getting close.
Real close. I can just imagine.
You break it up and now you want to get rid of me.
Did you expect us to take you along on our honeymoon?
Oh, don't give me that blushing bride routine. You put a ring through Dad's nose and...
That'll do.
At least I told you.
And it makes no sense. Now we're going. And you'd better keep your hands off the wheel.
Well, at least the storm has let up a bit.
Well, I gave you up. You were expected hours ago.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Thorndyke. I allowed all day for the 300 miles. But this storm, and coming through the mountain pass, we nearly skidded off the road.
It was really close.
Well, I'm glad you made it. I'm sorry I can't offer you something to eat.
That's all right. We'll get a bite on the way back.
Yes, you should be on your way, both of you. You've done enough for me. I'm Nancy Perkins, Mrs. Thorndyke. Please forgive us all.
Forget it, Nancy. Poor girl, you look half frozen.
I'll be all right.
Then we'd better conclude the formalities. Mrs. Perkins.
The new Mrs. Perkins. I lost my wife recently.
6 weeks ago.
In fact, that's why we registered Nancy at Sherwood.
Well, I'm sure you made the right choice. I think you'll be very happy here, Nancy.
I like the cheery atmosphere.
At first, she seemed a little worried.
That's natural. Separate anyone from familiar surroundings. The warmth and security of home.
You do understand.
Of course. But I'm sure any strangeness you feel will pass.
She was also worried about the discipline.
Oh, now, Nancy, this is not a corrective institution. Sherwood is a private preparatory school with a very high rating. All our girls come from fine backgrounds. There is work. Our courses are not easy. But there is also fun. You'll find out. Lots of fun.
Well, I'm glad that's settled.
You know your way back?
It'll be a breeze.
You're driving all the way home tonight?
They'll probably stop at a motel.
Well, goodbye, Nancy, and be sure to write.
Every week.
Say goodbye to...
Goodbye, Doris. Take good care of Daddy.
Goodbye, Nancy.
Well, I leave my little girl in your charge. Goodbye, Mrs. Thorndyke.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
Nancy.
you.
Come along, dear.
I'll help you with your luggage, Nancy. I'll show you to your room. It's right up here. You sleep in here tonight. You'd better go to bed at once. Actually, it's too late now, but in the morning I'll introduce you to the girls in your dormitory. 5 very sweet girls. Well, good night.
Night.
You've got sense enough not to fight.
Shocking paint, the first blush of spring.
And look at the neckline on this blouse.
Oh, it's formal the most.
Color. The music and moonlight. My dream boy.
I hope you kids are having a ball. Signal when you're through. I'd like to sack in.
Where'd you hide the cigarettes?
Here they are. Help yourselves. I'm terribly sorry I didn't bring a carton.
Maybe we should tell this prize package that it's against the rules to speak until you get permission. Or we might have to put you through our course in etiquette.
For instance, do you take off your gloves to eat and drink?
And when your date brings you home, you give him the key to your front door.
Hey, look at this. Didn't anyone ever tell you this was bad for your teeth?
Oh, chocolate.
Kids, look at this. My little girl's got a dream boy with wavy hair and muscles and...
Here, now, let it go!
meet you guys. Old Horseface is on the warpath.
So, you're the new girl, Nancy Perkins.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm Miss Rivers, and I'm the house mother. I look after this dormitory, and I teach art. Also, I expect to get 8 hours uninterrupted sleep.
Yes, ma'am.
For a new arrival, you certainly can kick up a storm. I'd never give you an A for tidiness. Do you have to make so much noise unpacking? Don't you know everyone's asleep?
Sorry, Miss Rivers. I was looking for something. A hand mirror, a present from my dad. I thought at first that I'd left it home, but then I found it.
Well, you put all these things back neatly. And remember, at Sherwood, we teach our young girls to be neat and quiet and go to bed.
I hope you slept well, Nancy. Sometimes a strange bed in a strange place.
Oh, no. It was just like home. Cozy and quiet.
Good. Good morning, girls.
Good morning, Mrs. Thorndike.
Sit down, girls. I'd like you to meet Nancy Perkins, your new roommate. This is Myra, Terry, Nola, Linda, and Ann.
How do you do? These must be the 5 sweet girls you told me about.
Exactly. You see, we like to put a newcomer in with girls who've been here for a while for guidance. They'll show you where your classes are and help you get used to our ways here at Sherwood.
I'm sure they will.
Well, I hope you all get along, and from now on, good luck.
Thank you.
Come on, girls. Let's go. Excuse us, Nancy.
Nancy, I want to talk to you. You passed your first test with flying colors. You didn't snitch. There's one thing we can't stand around here. It's a snitch.
I'm glad I made the grade, but don't give me an A for conduct. I like to handle things in my own way.
Don't be a meathead. I'm just taking an interest in you, because you've got spirit. Just remember, there's no such thing as a lone wolf at Sherwood. We can make life awfully miserable for oddballs.
I suppose.
First of all, when it comes to classes, I'm the teacher's assistant in chemistry. Secondly, Nola, the girl whose hair you tore out by the roots, she's an English assistant. Get it?
I get it.
And then if you want to have some fun here and be let in on things, you've just got to be one of us.
How do you get to be one of us?
You'll do what I say. You'll have to join our secret organization, Birds of Paradise. So long as I sponsor you, you're as good as in.
I never won any medals for obedience.
Come on, we'll be late for class.
I'm not hungry anyway.
Hi, Myra.
Oh, hi, Eddie.
Hey, who's the new talent?
Nancy, this is Eddie.
Is she a member?
After the next initiation.
Give her a preferred position. I dig her.
Would you two mind letting me in on the double talk?
Ever hear of a census?
Yeah.
If they ever took one at Sherwood, Eddie would be penciled in as the whole male population. And Eddie's the exclusive property of Birds of Paradise. We take turns dating him.
What a catch.
That's all there is, except on holidays. We divide him up like a jug of water on a lifeboat.
One swallow to each girl.
Oh, now I get it. King Farouk. With a lawnmower.
Myra, move her way up on the list.
I'll give you a better idea, Myra. Scratch my name off. Fall off that cloud. I've got a real boyfriend.
Wow, what a frosty chick.
Well, that just leaves more water in the jug for the rest of us.
Any way you pour it, I'd say you've got more jug than water.
That's for nothing.
What did I do?
It's what you were willing to do. I heard you every word. Listen, lunkhead, you're not the dream boy you think. If there was more supply around here, there'd be less demand.
All right, all right.
And don't forget you're engaged to me.
Yeah, but it's a secret.
Not from us. You know it, and I know it. Remember that.
Sure, baby.
I have to share you, but I don't want you to be so enthusiastic about it.
Okay.
Now give the girl you love a kiss.
Here?
Here.
In the morning?
Does true love look at the clock?
Okay.
And don't forget, cut your date short tonight. Say your head hurts. You've been thinking. And meet me later on at the same place.
Miss Branding, what experiment shall I get ready for today's class?
2 simple experiments, combination. The joining of simple solutions to form a more complex compound, and decomposition, breaking down the compound. You'll remember, copper wires to form a copper oxide, and then we'll decompose hydrogen peroxide to form water. Yes, I got my thesis back again.
I'm sorry, Miss Branding.
Save your sympathy and try to learn something from this. We live in a world ruled by men for men. They won't even consider my thesis. They mock me, my work. But they're convinced that they're on the right track. And before they're proven wrong, and I can do that, they'll destroy the world through reckless experiments.
But you yourself, you experiment all the time.
Of course I do, constantly. I'm not against progress. But they search for power in the wrong place. If they continue, do you realize what the people of the future will be, what they'll look like? Monsters. Grotesque, misshapen, frightening fiends. Isotopes and fallout in our lungs and our glands, distorting natural shape and proportion. No one can calculate the hazards of radiation. Reckless fools. They search in the wrong place. When I can demonstrate that there's a power strong enough to destroy the world buried within each of us, if only we could unleash it.
But how?
I can release a destructive power in a human being that would make the split atom seem like a blessing. And after I've done that, after I've demonstrated clearly that there's more terrible power in us than man can create, scientists will give up their destructive experiments. They'll stop testing nuclear bombs. Nations will stop looking for new artificial weapons because the natural ones, we, the human race, will be too terrible to arouse. War will no longer be a calculated risk because it can only end in total destruction.
Oh, it sounds big, Miss Branding. Important. Oh, if I could help.
No, you won't do, Myra. For my experiment, I must find a special kind of girl with special potentials. No, you're not what I need. I must find someone with the natural fire, explosiveness close to the surface. A disturbed girl, perhaps, but with a will of her own. Someone...
Wait till you meet our new girl, Nancy Perkins. She's an A-bomb all by herself.
In fact, each of you, in your own chemical makeup, contains elements which, if isolated and let loose, could blow up the entire school. But when these dangerous elements are combined, we have a bouquet of very pretty girls. Myra, will you conduct the next experiment?
I'll need 2 girls, Nola and Nancy. Both of you please come up.
So you're the new girl, Nancy.
Yes, Miss Branding.
Well, you're the guinea pig. You're on your own.
Here are 2 colorless liquids. One is water, the other alcohol. We will see which one evaporates first. Nola, please extend your right hand, palm down. Go ahead, Nancy. That's cool. Feels real cool. All right, Nola, you do the same thing to Nancy.
Burn me! Here, Nancy! Easy, Nancy. You must control yourself. A mistake's been made.
On purpose.
Better let me treat this for you. Myra, will you look after the class?
Yes, Miss Branding.
I think Nancy needs special treatment. Sorry, Nancy, but accidents will happen.
I still say it was no accident.
feel strongly about being hurt.
I never forget a hurt, and I never forget the person who hurts me.
It's better?
No, it still hurts.
Maybe it won't get better. Perhaps it can't get better until you do something about it.
Like what?
Like what you intimated? Like getting even?
Maybe.
You needn't be ashamed or afraid of that impulse. For some people, special people, no injury gets better until the score's been evened.
I certainly feel that way.
So did our ancestors. You remember the Bible? An eye for an eye?
Then it's all right to feel the way I do?
Yes, under certain conditions.
I feel that way about my father for remarrying so soon. I hate my stepmother. I even hate the school because all...
I understand, dear. Bruised emotions don't heal easily. Sometimes never. All quite normal. As I said, under certain conditions.
What conditions?
I'll tell you sometime when we get to know each other better.
Soon?
Perhaps. And when you're prepared to do something about it. It would be silly for you to strike out blindly, don't you think?
Yes.
Whatever you do should be done under guidance.
But whose?
I'll tell you that, too.
Soon?
Perhaps soon.
Still hurts.
Well, now I'll really take the pain away. But I'll need your cooperation.
What do you want me to do?
First, I want you to answer a question.
All right.
Nancy, do you trust me?
I think so. I hardly trust anyone except, well, Glenn, that's my boyfriend, and of course I did trust my mother. But you? I think so.
I'm glad. Because if you didn't, I couldn't help you at all. And because you do, I naturally trust you. In other words, what happens in this room must not go beyond this room.
You can depend on me. What do you want me to do?
I'll tell you. Nancy, have you ever been hypnotized?
No, not really. Oh, some goon tried it on me once in a parlor game at a party. And I made believe that I was under his influence, and then he told me to kiss him hard, but I slapped him hard instead.
Well, this is not a parlor game, nor is it make-believe. And take my word for it, Nancy. This will help you in many, many ways. You see this amulet? I picked it up in an antique shop. It was sold to the dealer by a woman whose ancestors had emigrated from the Carpathian Mountains. She claimed that it had been in her family for 7 generations.
She must have made up the story to get a bigger price.
No, she didn't, Nancy. She told the truth. I made a trip to that region to verify this amulet and the legend connected with it. It's a strange metal with a cat's eye for a centerpiece. It can heal and it can destroy. Also, it can release frightening powers. Look at it, Nancy. Look at it. Now go to sleep. Your eyes are getting drowsy. You're getting more and more sleepy. But you can still hear my voice. You can hear me, and you will obey me. You're in a deep sleep, and your hand no longer feels the pain. Touch it. Pinch it. Do as I tell you. I want you to prove it to yourself.
It's all gone.
And that's what I promised you. And I helped take the pain away. And you won't forget that.
No, Miss Brandy.
When I count to 5, you'll wake up refreshed. The pain entirely gone. But you'll remember that it's important to obey me. Always. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wake up. How do you feel, Nancy?
Fine. I feel fine. It's gone.
Now you can go to your next class.
Thank you.
And remember, not a word of this.
You can trust me, Miss Branding. Thank you again.
Now remember, you guys, this is no panty raid.
We know how to socialize.
We gotta behave.
Like little gentlemen.
Sure, just like you said. Good, clean fun.
We'll just be a welcome surprise.
Well, I hope so, because I still don't know if I'm doing the right thing.
Come on, Eddie. Make the move. And don't forget, Tab, I get dibs on the blonde.
Which blonde?
Any blonde.
Only if there's a redhead for me.
Hold this, will you, Joe? Come on.
Honey, you're holding me too tight. But I like it.
Well, of all the...
Don't be scared, girls. It's only us. My buddies, Joe and Tab.
Hi.
They fell in on me. They're from Lynbrook High, and I was telling them...
Who invited you?
We heard the rock and roll. Figured it was open house.
Well, it's out of bounds except for girls. You'll get us all in trouble. No, you can't crash this party.
We already did. So you might as well be sociable. Besides, it'll be more fun.
Terry, did you invite...
I just happened to mention to Eddie that we were going to hold an initiation party.
What's the difference? Let's have a blast. Then we'll go quietly out the window.
Well, all right. But I'm going to hold you responsible.
Hey, it's all in fun. Come on, I brought some swinging records.
How about a replacement for that pillow?
No, thanks.
Oh, the sociable type.
I choose my own partners.
Okay. But wait till you ask me to dance.
Hey, Tab, how about singing Puppy Love for the girls?
Come on,